Yo, what it do to my KKC crew, KKCs? I got a quick message for you. Technically, in part, this is really going to be more of a review. So I got to talk to you about what I'm binge watching right now, and I wanted to do a review of it because sometimes, it does help when we watch a trailer for something, and it helps when we talk to people who have watched it before, and they give us somewhat the highlights without ruining the whole thing for us, right? So that's what I'm going to do for you today. So what am I binge watching? Well, I'm going to start with what I just recently got finished binge watching. The first thing I know for a fact that I got finished binge watching is Bridgerton. Okay, I'm sure most of you are going, oh my God, yes. Or some of you are going, Bridgerton. Honey, let me tell you. So I'm a ways behind everybody else. Most everybody had jumped on Bridgerton probably mid-spring or whatever, or they've been on it since last year when it debuted or whatever. But me, myself personally, I don't follow the hype. So I get led to move and watch and see something when I get led to do it. So I watched it. Baby, could not stop watching it, could not put it down. Let me tell you my highlights for Bridgerton. The first thing is it's written by Shonda Rhimes, produced, by so many of the greatest that work with Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes, if you don't know her, is already phenomenal. She is the writer and producer and such for Grey's Anatomy, for How to Get Away with Murder, for Scandal. And if you've heard any or all of what I just said, you know for a fact her writing is impeccable. So already going into the gate, it was exciting to watch because it was one of hers, which says a lot for her name, right? The second thing Bridgerton is absolutely phenomenal about is that it's kind of the setting of it all is from the past, okay? So it's not something more contemporary and more modern chic. It's more from, back in the days of old, in which people would have done proper courting, and they would have probably held high value standard and principles for marriage and things of that nature. But what I do love, because in a Shonda Rhimes way, she made a contemporary approach by adding in music selections from more modern artists, but she made it in the way of instrumentals, and either she made a fast beat or a steady beat, or she'd slow the beat down, but either way you knew, like, oh my God, that's Miley Cyrus. I came in like a wrecking ball, like, like, that is crazy. So she took more contemporary artists and she kind of infiltrated them within the season that way. So that was the second reason. So it wasn't just that it was Shonda Rhimes' piece, not just that she was more from an older state, because that's what would have made it more, stagnancy. It's like, okay, this is like, what is that one? Gosh, I'm seeing it, but I can't say it. It's Abby, Dear Abby, or something like that. But either way, it took that same approach, but what it did was it modernized it with the contemporary music. The third thing I love about Bridgerton is the storyline itself. So there are so many multiple pieces, right? And there's so many, you got your main characters, and then you got like the extra added in characters that also have a main priority to bringing out the season. But the main character, so in the first season is what I'm speaking of, Daphne, beautiful woman. She's considered to be the queen's special one, right? She's the diamond, and they call her the diamond because she's gonna basically be like, if you think about a diamond, she's a diamond in the rough. She's been through a lot, but she's been pressured and placed and prepared to be somebody's wife. Okay, so she's gonna be the girl that every guy is going to want to get. And Daphne played a phenomenal role in this particular season because she was trying so hard to be prim and proper in every instant, but something internally really wanted to kind of like bust out at the seams and just be different and be wild. Like, you could tell her innocence was being pushed at all cost, right? So I'm really down for that kind of stuff. The second notion within the Daphne scene is definitely who she becomes betrothed to, the Duke. And might I stop with honey? The Duke is so sexy. The Duke is a hottie McHotster, okay? But his character is even mysterious and very kind of bad boy, you know, kind of I will never be, I'm a full-fledged player. I could never fall in love. And so lo and behold, the storyline between those two all season is the fun. It's the truest of fun. There were several storylines that were being built around several, you know, characters, her brother and his love affair, and her other brother and his, you know, about to be entrapped. Now, I will tell you, there are several things. Shonda Rhimes did a phenomenal job of showing, like, even in prim and proper days of old, there still can be some scandal, right? So, like, there is a brother who, again, was having a love affair with a woman who wasn't of his same level of prestige and finance. He was sleeping with her, and it was like, shh, don't tell anybody type of a situation. And she really kind of was just built around getting sick of that. Like, I don't want to be used for my body. And they really kind of had, I think, a strong lust and strong attraction for each other. But she finally made a definitive decision that she's just like, no, sir, you're not going to keep using me for that. There's another brother who fell in love with a girl who was in love with somebody else whom she had gotten pregnant for. I'm sorry, that's a spoiler, but I'm just going to say this. That storyline unfolding was extremely interesting because, you know, we see it all the time where he loves her, but she loves him, but he loves somebody else. And it's like a never-ending triangle, right? So that storyline was also there. And there were a few other storylines about, you know, corrupt behavior, corrupt business, you know, bad investments, all that kind of stuff. But what really took the cake for me was Daphne and the Duke. You know, the diamond and the Duke is what they would be referred to. And the diamond being that she was trying everything in her power to be prim and to be proper and to not disappoint family and not to disappoint the queen, but also even more so make sure she made the best choice for herself as a future wife. But then at the same regard, she was falling in love with somebody who was almost like God, how would I say that? He was almost like the choice that you shouldn't want, you know. It was like the one that was off limits. It was like the taboo love, you know. And long story short, there is always a happily ever after, so to speak. I won't ruin that for you if you hadn't seen it, but I will tell you, the Daphne Diamond and the Duke, okay, are the main, they were the main storyline for me. Like, I love a good So again, if you haven't checked out Bridgerton Season 1, definitely check it out. Definitely get all into the storylines as they just continue to unfold. All right, well, again, I hope you enjoyed it. Love you. See you soon. Bye.